And now I'm free! Free rolling!
All right, guys, welcome back to the Ordinary Fantasy Pod. It's week 11, baby. We're here. This is getting way too close to the end of the season for my take. Trade deadline's on its way for our main league. It's coming up soon. That means the season's getting wrapped up, and it makes me sad. It just makes me sad, guys. First off, my name is Ben Conroy. I'm your host. With me, as always, Nathan Boudreau and my brother Matt Conroy. Welcome in, guys. Sorry, I went on a little rant there at the beginning. I'm sad, man. The weeks are going by fast, man. That's all I'm saying. How are you guys? Welcome in.
I'm with you on the sadness of the season being over. Coming that way. But man, it has to be over to get a champion. So I don't know why you're sad. You're in the hunt. I mean, everybody that's not in the hunt should be sad. You
Football,
should be fucking
man.
Stoked, dude. I'm stoked. Let's get there.
I am excited.
Fight this out.
I'm excited for that. You're right, but I am sad because football, man. When football's done, it's just like, damn, it's a long time till it comes back.
Dude, I immediately start back into research, so it's the whole process all over again. I know Nate does too. Dynasty teams, he's making moves all year long. I joined a couple more dynasty teams this year, so I'm looking forward to the off season and making moves. So it's
always flies by
days.
so fast every year.
Yeah,
and I think the first time I notice it is usually around like the 8-week mark, because I'm like, holy shit, season's halfway over. And then after the 8-week mark, at that point, I'm already looking ahead. I'm looking at the playoffs. I'm looking at, okay, who's going to be in the playoffs, not only in the NFL, but also in all my fantasy leagues. Where are we going to be drafting next year? I'm already thinking about all that stuff. Man, what a fun week of football we just had. My Brock Purdy jersey is no longer jinxed. It is officially unjinxed, and thank you, Matt, for buying yours. I hope you wore it on Sunday. So
yeah, I did.
We got the double reverse jinx there.
Yep.
And not only did the 49ers win, but this was the highest scoring player on the highest scoring fantasy team this week, I believe. So I figured I'd show a little tribute, wear it on the pod this week.
Yeah,
like
man.
He said he hopes Brock takes you all the way to the championship.
I do. No, I didn't say that. Did I say that? I don't remember saying that. But yeah, man, I'll tell you what, he looked completely different than he looked prior to the bye. I mean, one bye week and 2 players back on the team, and they look like a completely different team.
Comes out and makes the stupidest throw he's ever made.
Stupid.
Shanahan even came out and said, dumbest decision he's ever made as a 49er.
That's fine, but it worked. And that's what you're getting. That's what you're getting from Brock Purdy. That's what you get from a guy like that. He was the same way in college. He made a lot of risky throws. He wasn't, always made the best decisions. I think he led his college league in interceptions when he played. In that league. But he gets it done, man. He gets it done.
And in the moment, as a 49er fan, when he made that throw, I thought, God, what a stupid throw that is. Mm-hmm. But I heard somebody say this week, and it rings so true. If that was Pat Mahomes throwing that exact same touchdown, it would have been like, wow, this guy's a miracle worker. That was amazing.
5 years in, yes. Less than a season under your belt? I don't know if they'd be saying that about Pat Mahomes at that point either. It's context. He's really new in the league, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, the coach is mad about it. We should at least go, hey, we've always said in Kyle we trust, right? If he's mad, if he thinks it was a bad throw, we should probably go, all right, yep, let's listen to that guy.
Yeah, it was definitely throwing across your body is never advised, and something that I hope he doesn't.
Foot falling away,
He actually wasn't falling away. He set himself up. He turned himself, got set, threw the ball. Yeah. As soon as he left his hand, we all thought the same thing. Like, oh my God! As soon as it landed in Ayuk's hands, I was like, oh my God! I can't believe that. That was awesome. I was so excited.
Well, have you seen the replay of the George Kittle touchdown? The replay, if you watch it in slow motion, of that one is even more impressive because he's just getting clobbered and he just kind of flings it in the air like this, and it just kind of like lands in the bucket. It's like incredible when you watch it in slow motion. Like, how did he get that ball off? It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, welcome to 49er Podcast, Gold Rush Podcast.
You see how it is behind me? I mean, you see it.
If you don't want to hear about the 49ers when you watch this podcast, my best recommendation is watch us in the weeks when the Niners lose, because we didn't say shit during those 3 weeks.
Seriously. No, but seriously, I mean, getting Trent back, getting Debo back, just adding that little extra wrinkle in the offense, having Debo be out there, and then you see, I mean, fuck, man, Trent's halfway down the field on that CMC run up the left side. Yeah, it was great. It was great seeing them back, and you could see that really sparked the team. So
Yep, a lot of fun.
Definitely a lot of fun. Let's talk some injuries, guys. We got a lot of injuries to kind of go over real quickly. Number one, probably the most significant to fantasy teams and the NFL is Watson out for the season. Deshaun Watson out for the season. We all know he had the shoulder thing all season long, tears, whatever. And then this last game, he went down with an ankle injury. And then apparently also he might have also re-hurt the shoulder, or I kind of think that since the ankle injury happened, that they basically just pulled the plug on him and said, we're just going to take you out and fix your shoulder and everything. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but what do you guys think about Watson?
Yeah, I mean, Watson wasn't having a great fantasy season himself. He obviously missed a bunch of time with injury already. He's not living up to that contract, that's for sure. I think this injury actually impacts the players around him more than it impacts him.
Mm-hmm.
Players like Amari Cooper and Elijah Moore and the tight end there, Njoku. There's some pretty significant splits when Watson plays versus when he doesn't play. All those guys look horrible when he's not on the field. Now, the good thing is they're saying that they're not going to start the other kid.
PJ Walker's out.
Yeah, PJ Walker. I don't know why I called him a kid. He's an old man.
Yeah.
But they're not going to start PJ Walker, and they're going to go with the DTJ. What is it? Dorian Thompson?
Dorian Thomas. Yeah.
Dorian Robinson.
So I'm with you that, for the receivers, bad. For the running backs, through the roof, man. With that defense, they are going to run. They can hold teams to 10, 12, 14 points a game, and they run the clock. Dude, Jerome Ford through the roof, Hunt through the roof. Any running back on that team you can get your hands on, I would pick him up.
And Thompson Robinson is a running quarterback as well. He played at UCLA, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I remember. I don't watch a lot of college
ball. By the way, not a Bruins hat.
That looks like a Bruins hat.
No.
I don't watch a lot of college ball, but I did catch one game when he was the quarterback. I was sitting on my couch on a Saturday afternoon, and he looked dynamic. I mean, he looks like he's got some wheels on him. Now the question is, can he replicate that in the NFL? I don't know, but he looks like he's got some skills.
Yeah, I did see him play a lot in while he was at UCLA, and he's kind of like a Vince Young style quarterback where he definitely has an arm on him and he can throw the ball, but he looks to run first, and he's big and tall like Vince Young, like that style of quarterback. So yeah, I mean, he hasn't shown it yet here in the league, in the NFL, that he has those skills, but he did have them in college, and he made a lot of guys look silly when he takes off running in the ball. So
do you guys disagree with me? I mean, you guys think they're actually going to let him play quarterback?
No,
I don't think they let him play quarterback at all. If he throws 10 times a game, I'd be shocked.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
I would
That's
say
not a joke.
That low. But yeah, they're going to let him play quarterback. But the question is it going to raise the stock of the receivers on that team? I don't think so. I think if I had Cooper, and I do have Elijah Moore and Njoku, I'd be worried at this point. I agree with you. The running game is going to be the biggest benefactor. I'm actually just curious to see what DTR looks like, because I believe he's on Ben's practice squad, and I might be putting in a little bid for him.
He is in my practice squad in fantasy. I mean, dynasty. I mean, you have to be concerned always, though, Matt, with the quarterback being questionable in his skills as far as a rookie quarterback would not. The run game might not work well, because if they just stack the box because you can't throw the ball, then you're not going to be successful with Ford and Hunt and those guys. So you got to be, look at both sides of it and be wary, is all I'm saying. All right, T. Higgins, guys, out again this week. Hamstring injury. Is there any major significance there?
Well, I mean, from a fantasy perspective, I mean, we've always seen that whenever Higgins goes down, Boyd becomes relevant, and that's been the case. I know there's been another receiver, Matt, you were mentioning.
Trenton Irwin. So when Higgins was out earlier in the season, I think he scored 10 or 12 points. Last week, 2 weeks ago, scored 11 points. Last week, got another touchdown for like 11. So every time Higgins is out, he scored over 10 points this season. So I would expect that to keep happening. They target him.
There you go.
and what a bummer for Sean. He made that trade, trading AJ Brown for T Higgins and
Yeah.
Pacheco, and Pacheco hasn't really been that great the last few weeks. He kind of reverted back to his old form, which is, chugs out 50, 60 yards rushing, doesn't do much in the receiving game. He's kind of gone back to that, and then T Higgins has been out with injury, so I'm pretty sure Sean is probably kicking himself a little bit for that trade.
Well, that plays right into the McKinnon narrative that I've been talking about the last couple of weeks. They said from early in the summer even that they're really going to just save him till the second half of the season going into the playoffs, and maybe happening.
Yeah, for our high stakes team, who were forced to start McKinnon this week because we don't have anybody else, that would be nice if it started this week.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, McKinnon looked great at the end of last year too. I mean, the way they used him in all those little packages, he looked really good. All right, let's talk about Alexander Mattison and his concussion, guys, and what that means for the newest star on the Vikings, the running game, Ty Chandler. What does that mean for them?
Yeah, so usually running backs, receivers, it's usually miss one game with concussion. Not always. Purdy came back sooner, but if you listen to Stephania Bell, whenever she talks about it, the majority of the time they miss 2 games. Mm-hmm. Running back, a lot of head-on collisions. I think he's just going to be out. You should probably count on that. Ty Chandler is good, or the other guy, Ngumba, what's his name?
Not Ngumbawale.
No, that's the wrong guy.
Yeah, I forget how to pronounce it too. Yeah,
there's another backup you can pick up also. Forget his name, guys.
Ty Chandler actually, he looked really good last week. I think there's a possibility that Ty Chandler could actually take this job and run with it.
Mm-hmm. Chandler, he didn't do it. They said the same thing in the preseason, and he didn't even use him after that.
Right. That's what I was just about to say. Is in the preseason there was a lot of hype around him because he was the most dynamic back in that backfield. And then as soon as they went out and got Cam Akers, it's like he became the forgotten man in that backfield. So he's got fresh legs. He doesn't have a lot of mileage on him this year. And then he looked really good this past week. He looked better than Madison.
I think you're forgetting about the 5 weeks to begin the season when he was on the team and he was a backup and got no run. But I would like to think he could take the job. Huh?
Cam Akers was there.
Not since the beginning of the season.
He was there week 2.
Week 2.
Yeah.
So 3's okay. Whatever. The first couple of weeks he didn't get any run. So I'm wondering if that'll happen. It didn't happen to begin the season. They went and traded for somebody because they thought they needed somebody else. So I'm curious if that'll happen.
Going off of what we've seen though in the last couple of weeks, Ty Chandler seems to be the guy, and they seem to be using him in that way. He's getting passes out of the backfield. He's running the ball in. So yeah, I would look for him if you can get him, and you can't get him in our league. I know because Nathan already grabbed him,
and I got him in Dynasty last week for the same reason.
Yeah, and by the way, I by no means am saying that Ty Chandler is a guaranteed thing. What I'm saying is, with Madison being injured with a concussion, and sometimes when the window opens just a little bit, all it takes is just seizing that opportunity. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, as somebody that picked him up, I'm biased, but I'm hoping that he's going to jump through that window and take reins. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've been watching a lot of Vikings games or trying to follow them as much as possible because of all my guys, and he seems like the guy there after these last couple of weeks. So
that'd make me happy.
For sure. All right, Michael Thomas out with a knee injury, guys.
He gone.
Nathan, talk about that for a second.
Yeah, I mean, same story, different year, right? Michael Thomas injured again. There's not a lot of clarity as far as how long he's going to be out. In fact, Matt and I were just talking a minute ago that the latest news said significant knee injury, but not enough to keep him out for the year. I don't know what that means. So I guess we'll have to wait till there's more information. I guess they probably are going to wait for the MRI, but I don't expect to see Michael Thomas back much this year. This seems to be his MO. He gets hurt midseason and then disappears. In fact, I just went and picked up his backup. There's a rookie that hasn't played all year, and they say that he's got a very similar style and a similar build to Michael Thomas. And so I thought, you know what, could be worth a flyer. In fact, he caught a touchdown last week. I believe his name is Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
Yeah, Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
A.T. Perry for those of you that don't know, we're joking. Katy Perry for the rest of us.
He kissed a girl.
Yeah, he liked
it. And he liked it. And when is Michael Thomas going to be done? When do they cut bait on him? When do they finally decide he's just not the guy anymore?
Not until they have a winning season and need to make a move.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know what his contract details are,
Yeah.
but I mean, if you're paying him the same amount regardless, you might as well just throw him out there when he's healthy,
Veteran
right?
leadership in the locker room, people like him,
Yeah, yeah,
until it matters. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Although
Okay.
he just got into some legal trouble recently, right?
Yeah.
What did he
Yeah,
do?
like, oh gosh, it was.
Oh, he threw a brick through somebody's window
That's
because
what
they
it
parked in
was.
front of his house.
That's what it was. Yes, yes, yes. It's like a
I know.
contractor.
In my America, you should be able to do that.
So I saw somebody say the other day, this isn't my joke, but somebody tweeted this and they said, okay, Michael Thomas just got busted for a brick through a window. Olave got busted a few weeks ago for speeding, reckless driving, right? Of course, we know what happened with Henry Ruggs in Las Vegas. And then we saw what happened with Antonio Brown in Las Vegas. And they were like, what is Derek Carr doing to these wide receivers? Like,
Yeah.
That's so funny. Poor Derek Carr. All right.
It's great that he has Carr in his name and they all have cars in it. I just love that joke. I love every bit of that joke. That's
Yeah,
great.
I
yeah.
didn't even put that connection together.
I
But yeah, they
know.
all have cars in the.
Oh, that's so funny. All right. Devin Achane, guys, is returning this week. Big news for
Boom,
Miami
boom.
fans. That could be big. Do you think we have the same kind of return from him right away, or do owners of Achane need to be cautious?
Well, it was a strain, not a tear, right? So he should be able to get right back in quickly. The other side, Jeff Wilson wasn't there when he was running earlier. They're giving him touches now.
Yeah.
I don't know how many touches he'll get a game. I mean, there'll be great touches. There'll be amazing touches. He may only need 8 or 10 to be amazing.
He's got the best touches.
Maybe.
Before I give my opinion on Achane, let me just answer the question you asked a minute ago. Michael Thomas has a dead cap hit next year of $22 million and a
he gone.
regular cap hit of $10 million, which means if they cut him, they're basically paying $12 million for him to not be on the team. So no, he will be with the Saints next year for sure. But then the following year, he is cuttable. His dead cap is equal to his regular cap, so they can cut him, save a little bit of money. Okay. Achane, this guy looked like the best running back in the league the few weeks that he played.
Yeah.
Every efficiency metric shows that he's the most efficient running back in the league. I hope for the sake of football fans that he comes back and has that same form. I just hope as somebody that's playing against him this week that he waits a week to do it. They announced that he's opened up the practice window, so they have 21 days to activate him. And we've seen other players, they open up the practice window and they don't come back the first week. So I'm crossing my fingers that they hold him for a week. But yeah, as a football fan, it would be really great to see him back out there replicating what he did earlier this year.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys would, if you owned him, you'd probably start him. If he's starting, you're playing him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for
All
sure.
right. All right. All right.
In fact,
He only needs one touch to get an 80-yard touchdown. So yeah, you can start him
Seriously.
anytime he's in there.
and I have it on good authority that he is not on the trade block in our main league.
I have it on the same authority.
Justin and Jake just shut you guys down, huh?
I didn't even ask for HN. I actually got a text from, and Matt told me he got the same text, but I got a text from Justin and Jake yesterday, and it's like, hey, we want to negotiate as a duo, and I said, great, let's do it. And they said, we want to trade a running back for a wide receiver, and I said, all right. I said, the only wide receiver that's off the block for me is Amon-Ra, and they said, yeah, and HN's off the block for us, and I said,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know that we have much to talk about.
Ours didn't go far either. They reached out because Jake wanted Puka, and I looked at the team and I was like, well, if I was going to do this, if I look at my team and say I want to trade, Achan's the guy I'll be looking at. And they go, keeper, he's off the table. I'm like, all right,
Well, sometimes that just happens with guys. Sometimes you just have that feeling. You get that thing. You're not gonna let. I've had plenty of guys that in my career of doing this. Where Nathan's been reaching out to me, and I'm just like not letting him go. This is one of those guys. I'm just not letting go.
Yeah, well, it's their keeper for next year. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and our keeper rules sort of prohibit you from. I mean, they don't prohibit you. You can trade the guy, but it sort of it makes it not as evil, even as a value. So even if it's a fair trade, you think to yourself, well, I sort of lost the trade because now I lost my keeper, right?
Yes, that's the worst.
Yeah, so that's something to consider. And I know Justin was actually telling me last night he's going to propose at next year's draft party. He wants to make a change to the keeper rules, which would allow the the party you're trading him to keep him. We'll discuss it. I know that there's pros and cons to it, but that's something that I've heard from multiple people this year.
It's kind of like when you rent a player, right? When they're a free agent the next year, and you just sign them for the 1 year, and you're just like, we're just basically renting him, and he's going to go somewhere the next year. It's basically kind of have that same feeling. You're like, we get him now, but we don't get to keep him. You know what I mean? Like, there's no guarantee that we get to keep him, and it's kind of makes it hard. And this is a good segue into our trades of the week, guys. Bobby traded in the Dynasty League. Bobby traded Tyler Conklin to Adam for Noah Brown. I don't have much to say on this trade. Do you guys have much to say on this trade?
I mean, Noah Brown's had 2 great games, but he's only had them when one of the other receivers above him in the depth chart is out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Looks like he's good, but at best, I think he splits slot carries or slot receptions with Robert Woods the rest of the way. So he's a halftime player, I think, if they're all healthy.
When I first saw this trade, it was confusing at first because I know Adam's rebuilding in Dynasty, and I thought, well, what would a rebuilding team want with Tyler Conklin? I know Tyler Conklin's been around for a few years, and I knew he was probably getting close to 30, and I looked it up. He's 28, so I thought, why would he want him? Mm-hmm. And then I looked up Noah Brown's age. I was surprised to see he's like 27. So, I mean, they're both
really,
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I was surprised to see that. So they're both 2 guys that are not really young, and Noah Brown's had 2 really good weeks, but Conklin's had 2 decent weeks as well. I think Conklin's got like 2 weeks in a row of over 12 points, which is good for a tight end. So it sounds to me like maybe it's just a need, like a bye week filler, just need a tight end for this week. Bobby needs a wide receiver for this week, and they struck a deal.
I love really the low end. I love the bottom of the roster trades. They're so easy. If it helps you out, I love doing those.
Yeah.
Do you feel better about him picking up Conklin since you picked him up this week, Nate?
No, actually, I had picked up Okonkwo to play as my tight end this week. As you know, I'm hurting ever since Waller went down.
Yeah.
And I never even considered Conklin until they did this trade. And when I was looking at Conklin, I went, oh, this guy's on a little bit of a hot streak. 3 out of the last 4 weeks, he's got double digits. And I thought, you know what, maybe Zach Wilson is looking for him for whatever reason. We know Zach's not a great quarterback, but if 3 out of the last 4 weeks he's targeting Conklin, and I need a tight end, it was a great opportunity to go pick one up.
See, guys, remember last week you talked about when you see somebody doing better than you look at see what they're doing, and you see even Nathan does that. See, it works out for everybody.
Yep, everybody does it.
Commish follows the rules just like everybody else.
Yep.
All right, guys. We kind of gave this PSA earlier, but the trade deadline for the main league is Thanksgiving. It's coming up. It's coming quick. So get those trades in, get those offers in. No time like the present to try and fix that team for the playoffs, guys. So get it going.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify, that's only for the main league. We used to have the same trade deadline in Dynasty, but as you guys recall, we had a vote last year, and the vote was to extend the trade deadline all the way into the playoffs. So we have a few more weeks in Dynasty to make some trades. But in the main league, you have until basically 9 p.m. Pacific on Thanksgiving. And then in the Sleeper League, which a few of us play in, I believe the trade deadline is this week. So once this week's games start, no more trades. So get your trade offers out there.
All right, yeah, you heard the man. Get him out there. Get him in. Get him now. All right, guys, we're gonna move on to our "Can we fix it? You can't fix it. Can y'all fix it? We can fix it." No, give us a little update, Nate. On we haven't done this in a while, but give us a little update on "Can we fix it?"
Yeah, so we haven't received any requests to fix anybody's team in a few weeks, but I did want to address some of the past segments that we've done and kind of give a recap. And I especially wanted to do it now because on last week's podcast, there was an accusation made that somebody sent us a request for help, and then we turned them away and didn't offer any help. And we didn't address that specific part of it directly. We did talk about the joke and it wasn't funny, yada, yada. But, our credibility is on the line here. If somebody says, hey, somebody asked you for help and you didn't give it, I want to respond to that and show that, no, we did, in fact, give help. In fact, only 3 people all season have sent us a video asking for help. Ryan sent us a video. He said, hey, guys, find a quarterback off waivers. We told him on this pod, don't go to waivers. Trade one of your running backs instead. In fact, we recommended that he trade McLaughlin. A few days later, he traded McLaughlin. He got Dak Prescott. Prescott is averaging 38 points per game ever since Ryan got him. And Ryan has improved to 6-4, which is good enough for a wild card spot. So did Ryan only do that because we told him? Probably not. But the advice we gave was good.
That's right.
Justin also asked us for help. He needed help because he had a bunch of injuries. We told him go out there and trade either Achane or Jefferson and try and get some usable parts. At the time, trading Jefferson was sort of controversial, whether you should trade a player of that caliber. Justin did it. He went out and traded for Brian Robinson. Robinson is averaging 14.64 points per game for Justin, and he's moved all the way up from 2 and 4 to 5 and 5. Justin is clearly in contention now for a wild card because of the advice that we gave him. So you're welcome, Justin. And then Portia also asked us for advice. We suggested that she play the waiver wire more, which she started doing. We suggested that she start looking at her lineup in the morning, which she started doing. She's now won 3 of her last 4 games, and she's only 1 game out of playoff contention. So, and while we're here, I want to give one more piece of advice to Portia. I know you've been getting a lot of trades, Portia, specifically from somebody that knows that you need a tight end. Maybe that person needs a quarterback. My advice to you, Portia, is if he's not willing to give you his best tight end, don't give him your best quarterback. So that's just one piece of advice for Portia. We'll see how that plays out for her. And hey, guys, like we said, the trade deadline is coming up. We got 1 week left in the main league. If any of you guys need some help, if you want us to fix it, please send us a video and we will do our best to offer you some potential trades that we think could help your team make a playoff push.
Not just from us. We'll tell you other people to trade with as well.
Mm-hmm.
It won't just be from Matt and Nathan. All right, guys. Well, that was Can You Fix It? We can fix it. Can you fix it? Well, let's move it along, guys, to our Around the League recap. And I know we got a lot to talk about, Matt. So take it away.
Yeah, so a little shout out to Portia. Real quick on that trade offer that Nate brought up. I didn't ask for your best quarterback, so I wasn't expecting to give you my best tight end. But if you want my second best tight end, I'll take your second best quarterback.
I knew that.
Whatever.
I knew it was Matt you were talking about.
Yeah,
How did you know
I
that?
didn't even set it up correctly, though. I didn't ask for Joe Burrow. I asked for fucking Goff, dude.
Who has
Come
more
on.
fantasy points this year, Burrow or Goff?
No, you said better. You
No,
didn't say
I said
score the most.
your
You said
best
better.
quarterback.
Joe
Goff
Burrow is a better,
quarterback.
higher drafted quarterback and projected for more points on a weekly basis than Goff. So set it up correctly. All right. We'll move it on to the Guillotine League. Bulky Sean out for the second time this year. No rebuys for him. He left, though, with the highest scoring out of the whole season at 95.6. So not a lot he could have done. His guys were in there. They were scoring just not quite enough. But that's getting down there. There was a good battle for players today. I was hoping to get some Eckler and A.J. Brown, but that didn't work out. But yeah, fun league that's coming down to the wire. I like it. With the side league, we got Jamie alone at the top this week. She had a 3-way tie last week, but she's alone up there this week. She's on a 3-game win streak. And, well, I was going to say there was a trade pending, but that's old news now, so I'll leave that one alone. All right.
There could still be a trade pending. You just got
No, there might be, actually.
Yeah.
All right. So in Dynasty, we have Jeff and Matt still tied for the division lead. It's been 3 weeks now we've been tied up there. I think we haven't won in 3 weeks, so we're still tied up there. Dre has a 2-game lead in his division. And in the winner division, Nate at 10-0, Bobby 9-1, and Slippy Slidey Ben down to 7-3. Although you won this week, right?
I was going to say, I won this week.
7-3, dude. I mean, you're so far down here in that league. I mean, goodness
Slidey
gracious.
Ben.
Slidey Ben, all the way down to 7-3 with a winning record.
All the way down to 7-3. Yeah, that team. All right. So yeah, that's fun. But I still have a shot at making the playoffs. I don't know that I'll get there, but Jeff, let's go, man. Let's go. One of us should make the playoffs. The winning division is all I hope for, or a winning record. I hope.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
laughing about that. The fact I was telling somebody today, I was like, man, I crushed the guy I played in my Dynasty League. But it really doesn't matter because the 2 other guys in my league are one's undefeated still, and the other one scored 225 points this week. So it's like I'm just fighting my way up to the top just to get knocked down right at the
And
end.
then
So
Ben, we play this week, right?
I believe so. We played.
I would like to go out and for the first time, earliest time ever, good game.
What? Damn.
You're projected for like a 50-point beat down on me, dude. My team sucks. Your team is fucking
Oh,
good.
man.
Yeah, it's
Matt,
terrible.
Matt likes to play this on his high horse and say, I don't believe in jinxes. I never do it. I never jinx. All week last week, I'm playing against Matt, and he's just peppering me with GGs all day. GG. I was like, dude, you still have 4 players left. I know, but GG anyways. GG. You know I don't believe in
No,
GG.
no, dude.
GG.
Set up this shit. So bullshit, dude. Such
And then like an
bullshit.
hour later, he's like, can I GG yet?
Game,
Can I
it
GG?
was over. You had like a 30-point fucking lead on me. I had no players. The game was over. I
Oh.
said good game, and I meant it. And you smoked me this week, dude.
Kind of
You had
like
me beat in the morning games.
kind of like when the game was over against Steve, and then all of a sudden your linebacker scored 44 points, kind of like that.
Expected to lose.
I did
mean,
not accept.
dude, I honestly don't believe in jinxes. I don't believe in karma. I don't believe in any of that. I hope you guys believe me when I say that. When I say good game, I really mean good game, and I really thought I lost. But I'm glad you guys think I have that kind of power to affect the universe.
No, of course not.
All right.
No, nobody has that power, but it's just funny. I love the back and forth, especially if it's not through the thread and it's just back and forth with one person when they're like, just talking shit or trying to jinx each other, or that's part of the fun of Sunday morning. So it was kind of amusing that you kept texting me that.
Yeah, I had fun. All right, so in the main league, we have Saddle Creek Division with a total overall record of 41-29, and the Arizona Bay Division at 29-41. Whoa, that is bad for that division. In Saddle Creek, there is only one person with a losing record, and in Arizona Bay, there's only 2 people with winning records. So it's a big difference this year. If the playoffs started today, still Ben and Dre would be on buys. Alex and Ryan would play out of the 4 and 5 seed, and Matt would play out of 3. Jeff would out of the 6. And Ben, just so you know, this year, if it stays like this, might be one of the first times ever we could see each other in the fucking finals.
What?
I got to stay at 3 seed because it has us in 2 different brackets now. But if I win the division or I get up to second or something, we may be in the same one. Have to battle it out earlier. But as it sits now, Conway final.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the bracket shows. It reseeds after each round. So the lowest seed plays the highest seed after each round.
Well, you can vote on that later, Ben. I like my way better. I only need 8 votes in this league. Yeah.
Actually, Go ahead, Ben.
Oh, no, I was just going to talk shit on Dre and say I won this week. And I took him down. You know what I mean? Like I've been dreading the game against Dre all season. And even I did not feel good. Even being up 35 points against Josh Allen on Monday night, I didn't feel good. And luckily Allen shit the bed and I was able to win. That was by far Dre's one of his worst weeks. And luckily it lined up perfectly with me. So
Dre, correct me if I'm wrong, he's lost 2 weeks in a row now, right?
Yeah.
And this week he's playing against Matt.
Yep.
And projections right now is Matt 140, Dre 98. I mean, we could be looking at Dre on a 3-game losing streak by the end of this week.
Yeah.
That would be fun, but he has 2 players on bye he hasn't switched out, so it's not going to be that kind of spread. But,
okay, but still, I mean, he's playing against one of the top teams, one of the highest scoring teams in the league. So yeah, it's a bit of a skid. Hey, it happens. I went on a skid last year and I still won the whole league, so there's still a chance that Dre could do the same. But as I look at these standings and the playoffs, I don't have any illusions at this point of being in the playoffs myself. Yes, I won last week, but everybody that I needed to lose also won. So I'm 2 games out with 4 to go. Doesn't look very likely. But now what I'm starting to do is I'm looking at the 6 people that are projected to the playoffs, and I'm doing my own mental gymnastics, trying to do my own rootin' rankings. Like, who am I rooting for?
Rootin' rankings.
These are my rootin' rankings.
That sounds like a bit. That sounds like a bit.
Rootin' rankings. He's an overall straw hat. Yeah.
And I will say, you know what? I think the team at the number 1 spot, the number 1 seed in my rootin' rankings right now, it's got to be you, Ben. I mean, I'm rooting for you. You haven't won in 18 years, something like that. It's been a while. I think
2005, yes.
2005. So yeah, 18 years. You haven't won. All the other guys up there, I have reasons to root against them. I don't want a rookie to win, and I don't want somebody that's already won twice to win, because then that just brings them closer to my total of wins. Yeah, and I don't want somebody that's going to make us go to Texas win. So I mean,
Ben's the least threatening winner to you, is what you're saying.
No, he's the number 1 seed in my rooting rankings, is what I'm saying.
I'll take it.
I just hope he picks a good draft location, because I know it'll probably be in California, but
it cannot be in Riverside.
What?
Sure,
there's beautiful parts of Riverside. No, thank you, Nathan. I appreciate the rooting, and I feel good about my team right now, and I hope that it continues to roll. You know what I'm saying? So I was a little nervous though this week. This kid in Baltimore is taking all Gus Edwards' play, and it's
Yep.
really starting to bother me.
Well,
But
he didn't actually get that many touches.
no,
That's the
but
thing.
he's just
He
making them.
got
He's
it.
making them count, though. That's the thing. He's making them count.
Yeah, and he should get more touches going into next week, I think. But yeah, he got less touches percentage wise this week than he got last week, and that was not
No,
what they
I
said
know.
they'd do. So.
Yeah, I know Edwards is still out snapping them and stuff, but it just when you see somebody like that showing out, you're like, ooh, what does that
Here-
mean?
Yeah,
here's-
the way that it threatens Edwards is that Gus Edwards, his biggest skill set is that goal line carry. And that's how he's been
Yeah.
getting all those touchdowns. But
Yeah,
if you got Keaton Mitchell scoring from 30 yards out, then you don't need a goal line carry, right?
no goal.
And
There's
so
no goal
if they
line.
keep on giving the ball to Keaton Mitchell and he keeps doing long touchdowns, then Gus Edwards isn't going to be very valuable.
The
Yeah,
regression on that team is going to should be, if it holds like it all usually does, the regression will be in the last like 5 weeks, very few touchdowns have come from Lamar's arm.
Mhm.
All on the ground, everything on the ground, all the
Mhm.
touchdowns on the ground.
Mhm.
So if the second half finishes and regresses to the mean, should be a lot more Lamar Jackson touchdowns through the air going forward. If regression to the mean happens like it usually does.
Yeah, we'll see. And I was also excited to see that the Raiders are fucking using Devontae Adams again. Like, thank God, right? I mean, like, holy shit, he's the best receiver in the league.
Well, I'm
Amazing.
most happy that the coach took back play calling duties in Carolina, so Adam Thielen can start catching some fucking balls again.
Yeah.
What are you most happy about, Nate? Since we're all
Yeah,
saying what we're
what are
most
you
happy
happy?
about.
Listen, I'm just thankful for all my friends.
Yes.
All right. Well, that was our Around the League recap, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out for that. All right, guys, let's talk about our low score of the week this week. Even though he had the low score, he's big timing us like he had the high score. Alex Ribble, the natives, as he's like to be called in our league, he had the low score this week, 98 points. He had very low performers. Juju Smith-Schuster got him 1.9. Jacoby Myers got him 4.1. Hubbard got him 5.9, and then Connor only got him 7.3. And it's tough. And I feel like ever since he made that trade, or ever since he lost, he made that.
Ever
trade.
since we stole a player from
Ever
his
since
team,
we stole
since we ripped his championship from him.
Damn,
Don't add any fuel to the fire. No, I mean he had a let's be honest. The reason he had such a bad week is he had a lot of buys this week, right? And you guys said it. You guys said it early in the season. You said he's going to go as the Dolphins go, right? So obviously the Dolphins bye week, he's without Mostert, he's without Tyreek, and then also Mahomes was on a bye, and Rashee Rice, who was coming along. You're missing 4 of your top dogs. Of course, it's going to be difficult to perform, but as Matt always talks about, championship teams, they prepare for these bye weeks. They make sure that they have suitable replacements in place, or they make trades to try and maybe not have so many players on a bye. And it's clear that Alex didn't do that because some of the players that he put in, like patchwork, like picking up Juju Smith-Schuster, didn't make a lot of sense to me. I didn't think.
Really his only 2 bad plays were Myers and Juju. I mean, Connor, we all expected to have a way better game. Hubbard's been having way better games. Diggs always has better games.
He could have played a better quarterback than Bryce Young. I mean, Bryce Young's been horrible.
Yeah, I get that. But overall, I mean, his team underperformed even for having buys.
Yeah,
and honestly, he lost by less than 20. If Diggs has his normal week, Connor and Hubbard have their normal week, he actually gets the win probably.
Yeah, I actually kind of expected him to pull out the win on Monday night because I think he only needed I say only, but for Diggs, he needed 40 points or something like that on Monday night. And I fully expected Diggs to come out and do that, and for Alex to pull out the win, but he didn't. So now he sits at 7-3, which you would think, okay, he's still up there, he's still at the top, probably not in any danger of missing the playoffs. But it is worth noting that Sean is currently outside of the playoff picture at 6-4. So a team only 1 game behind Alex is out of the playoff picture. It's going to be time to get some wins under your belt to make sure that you secure that playoff spot.
Yeah, Sean had a couple wins in a row. He lost this week, so we'll see if he gets back on track.
Yeah, Alex is still number 2 in overall points in the league. Who's
number 1?
Yeah, you know what? He's in the middle of a Conroy sandwich. He's
He is. He is.
yeah. In total points, you got Matt number
Yeah.
1, Alex number 2, Ben number 3, and then guess who's number 4?
Dre.
No,
I'm
somebody
kidding.
that has
He's
no
down
fucking
there.
chance of making the playoffs is number 4 in total fucking points. Fuck you guys.
Well,
Hey, man.
well, that's a great segue into the next fucking segment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Matt. Good job there, Segway King. High score of the week, and you're here with us, Nathan Boudreau. Congratulations, 185.94 points. That's a big number. You had some top performers. You're wearing the jersey of the highest scoring guy on your team this week, Brock Purdy. Got you 32.84 points. Amon Ra, the Sun God, is back, 30.5. I say he's back because they were, you know what I mean. Kenneth Walker, 23.7, and Mr. Tank Dell over there with 19.8. As the Houston goes, CJ Stroud is just lighting it up, man. All those receivers over there are just benefiting so much from that guy. It's great to see. And that's that works out nicely for you. And you were really concerned about not winning this week. You were really concerned about losing to the Conroy sweep, but you were able to pull it out, Nate. And can you talk about how that feels to avoid the Conroy sweep?
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys want to talk to me about my high score this week, but I'd really like to use this opportunity to air out all my personal grievances against you guys. I've got some.
I've been waiting for this episode. I've been waiting. Yes.
I figure since I have a window here, I've got some things that I really want to fucking throw out there.
You got to ramp up. You got to ramp up the anger, bro.
You're not bringing the energy, dude. I'm not buying it.
Listen, there's been bitch moves, guys.
He's talking about you, brother. He's talking about you, not me.
It must be. It must be.
Must be you.
It
must be.
Ben, the other day I texted you and I was trying to make a trade. You didn't reply. Bitch move. Right?
Bitch move.
Bitch
Yeah,
move.
it is. It is.
All right, well, Nate, it's been fun having you on, man.
No, it was fun. I mean, listen, it's bittersweet because I don't think I have much of a chance to make the playoffs, and I was watching my team excel, but I was watching all the teams that I'm chasing. They're also excelling. It wasn't a very good week for what I need to have happen to make the playoffs. But yeah, it's always nice to put the boot up Matt's ass. I mean, what did you say our record was last time?
No,
2-1.
Got me smoked like 19-8 or something like that.
Yeah, so just throw another one on that pile, I'll see you again next year.
You're my
Probably
Josh.
not
You're my Josh.
You're my Josh.
But those weeks where everybody's performing, like even your defense, like your IDP is just popping off, and you're like, oh, Kenneth Walker just caught a long touchdown. I didn't need that. I already had a huge lead, and everybody was just going off. So it's a lot of fun.
No,
so
definitely.
my question to you, Nate, is 3 weeks in a row now, old Zach Charbonnet's touches have been creeping up while Kenneth Walker's are creeping down. Charbonnet's not putting up the production. Are you worried you're going to lose that going down the road? That consistent start?
No, I mean they're getting Charbonnet more involved, and especially in the passing game, which is discouraging because you want your starting running back to be involved in the passing game. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think Kenneth Walker, he's not going to have the same value that he had in the first 6 or 7 weeks of the season. But there's not been a single week where Charbonnet has outperformed Kenneth Walker. I think Kenneth Walker is still, far and away the starter there. They're going to be a nice little tandem. They're both keeper eligible for me. So I'm looking at it like I just said, if I'm not looking at making the playoffs this year anyways, I'm scouting them for next year. Do I want to keep them both? Do I want to keep just one or the other? Plus I get to keep Tank Dell next year. So that'll be a nice little trio of keepers.
Wait. I thought we only had keepers for 1 year in this league.
No, you get to keep them through their rookie contract.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. So if you get them as a rookie, you get to keep them through their whole rookie contract. So that's, 2 more years of Kenneth Walker, 3 more years of Charbonnet, and then, Tank Dell, he's got 4 years.
How many years of Addison do I have? 5? 4? How many?
Addison
he'll get a new contract
rounder.
really fast. He'll probably have a new contract next year.
He might.
No.
Yeah.
No, he can't next year. Rookies, they're not eligible to negotiate a new contract till after 3 years.
Yes, I got him at least for 3.
And typically,
but if he's so good, they may just give it to him. Sorry, Ben.
Typically, a rookie contract is only 4 years, but with a player that's drafted in the first round, they can get that 5-year extension. So you potentially could have Addison for 5 years as a keeper.
That'd be dope.
But if he goes superstar route, clearly after 3 years he'll get that bump and you'll
Yeah,
listen.
after 3 years he'll get the bump for sure.
All right, mate. Looking forward to this week. You play one of your biggest rivals, Justin. You know, yeah. You guys, any hammers coming down? Any double hammers, 3-time hammers? Any hammer bets coming this week?
No, we exhausted all those pretty early this year, so we don't have the option to throw any hammers on each other. One thing that's interesting about our matchup this week is he's got 2 or 3 players on Thursday, and then the rest of his team is all at 10 a.m. on Sunday. So he's done by the time the Niner game starts in the afternoon. Me, I'm the exact opposite. I don't have anybody playing, like 2 players in the morning games, and then after that, they're all afternoon and evening. So our battle is going to happen at 2 different times. I'm going to see what his points are first, and then I'm going to have to try and catch up from that. And one interesting note too, as well, is that he's right now starting Najee Harris, and I'm starting Jaylen Warren. I don't know if he's going to continue to start Najee. Did you guys hear the news? They came out and said that Jaylen Warren is the starter now.
Oh, I haven't heard that yet.
Not if you look at the touches the last couple of weeks. Najee's been going up and up and up.
They came out and said Jaylen Warren is the starter. It was the tweet that came out, and Jaylen Warren actually said it himself. He said, "Coach calls me the starter now." So we'll see how that materializes over the next couple of weeks. I think they're both going to be involved, and they're playing a very tough defense this week with Cleveland. But I have a feeling Justin's going to bench Najee if
look at Ryan making moves.
Mitchell comes back. Is Ryan making moves?
Ryan just picked up the new Watson replacement QB.
Yep. Yeah, Dorian Thompson.
There you go.
Oh, he went and picked up DTR. Okay.
Live on the air, we're breaking news.
Breaking news tomorrow.
Breaking news. Yeah, you're going to see this 2 days after it happened.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun matchup with me and Justin. We always have a little bit of fun. There's money on the line, whether we can throw the hammer or not. And you know what? There's a playoff position on the line. Even if I'm not going to make the playoffs, I can play spoiler and keep him out. So, if I can have a little fun with that, I will.
Yeah, that's awesome. Nice. That's awesome. All right, well, that was your high score of the week. Congratulations, Nate. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, let's move it on to something we like to do here. That's just fun for us. And that's pretty much it because we don't pay it off or anything. We don't ever even talk about it afterwards. But we like to make the predictions. This is it probably won't happen, but it'd be pretty fucking cool if it did. And this week's game, Thursday Night Football, Bengals at the Ravens. This sounds like an old school like defensive game. Like you're like, oh, Bengals Ravens. Like I don't know why. That's what it feels like to me. And it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be exciting. You got Burrow, James Burrow. What's wrong with me?
Joe Burrow's the other one. So there's 2 Burrows. Joe Burrow, James Burrow. They make the Burrows. Yeah.
James and Joe Burrow.
Jesus, brother.
I know. Yeah, he's been playing better, man. And back from the injury. And is Jamar Chase going to be playing this week?
Should be.
Yeah. Okay, good. So, that should be a good game. I'm going to make my prediction first. Probably won't happen. It'd be pretty fucking cool if it did. I'm going to go Tyler Boyd because we talked about him earlier. Tyler Boyd coming, he's going to be getting those plays because T. Higgins is out. I'm going to go Tyler Boyd. He's going to have a big game. 3 touchdowns that day for Tyler Boyd. He's going to be the guy. I think he's going to outshine Jamar Chase. Probably won't happen. But it'd be pretty fucking cool if it did. And I got him on my fantasy team, so there you go.
All right. Well, the AFC North, you alluded to it a moment ago that it's an exciting division. It's the only division in football where all 4 teams have a winning record. And I believe going into last week, all 4 would be slotted for the playoffs. So there would be a winner and then 3 wild cards out of that one division. So it's a very exciting division. However, 2 of the top teams in that division, I think what most people consider to be the 2 top teams in that division, the Ravens and the Bengals, both lost last week. And obviously the Browns beat the Ravens, but now they lost their quarterback. So everybody's expecting these 2 teams, Ravens and Bengals, to be up there at the top. Yeah, I'm looking for fireworks. I'm looking for an explosive game. I'm looking for them to assert their dominance and declare once and for all who the top team in this division is. I expect the Bengals to pull the upset and win the game, but I do think Lamar Jackson is going to have a huge game. It probably won't happen, but it'd be pretty fucking cool if it did. Lamar Jackson to his tight end, 3 touchdowns.
Ooh, Mark Andrews getting a big game. All right.
Yep.
Well, I got to redo mine. That's
Makes Mark
basically-
Andrews. Oh,
Mine's
sorry.
basically
Bob.
exactly the same as Nate's. Mine
Exactly
was
the
going to be that. Well, no. Basically, I was going to go with Lamar Jackson hasn't scored multiple touchdowns in a few weeks, and this would be the week that he goes ahead and scores multiple touchdowns. I wasn't going to call exactly to who, but I was going to go 2 on the ground, 2 in the air. So 4 for Lamar.
There you go. 2 on the ground, 2 in the air. Can we hear what it? You haven't said the tagline yet.
It probably won't happen, but I needed to in Dynasty. So, oh wait, is that how it goes?
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. All right. Well, that'll be fun. Like I said, I'm excited for this game. It should be a fun one. So that was it for It Probably Won't Happen, but it'd be pretty fucking cool if it did. All right, guys. Our last week's assignment for Bobby's Can of Worms was stand-up comedy routine, and we kind of talked about it a little bit last week, and he needed an extra week to get it done. And thank God we gave him that extra week, guys, because I feel like he really came through for us and
Me too.
really nailed it this week. And we're gonna watch that video together right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby!
It is great to be here hosting Saturday Ordinary Night Live. It's always been a dream of mine since I was a little baby degenerate doing blowouts in my non-organic diapers. As some of you know, I'm in a fantasy football league called the League of Ordinary Degenerates. It's ordinary with 2 E's at the end instead of a Y. So either this group went to way too many rave parties in their younger years, or they're just really bad at spelling. We're a bunch of guys from Orange County, California who started playing fantasy football over 20 years ago. And over the years, life and families have spread us out all over the country. And now, playing this silly little game is what keeps us in constant communication, mainly through text threads that are basically a full-time job just to keep up with. And if you don't have a job that allows you to be on your phone all day long, you might miss one of the 500 daily text messages discussing the 75 new rule changes that happen every off-season. You should see the rules for this league. It's like reading the full IRS tax code. But it does also make sure we have at least 1 trip per year all together. I know. It's really something. The winner of the league chooses the draft party location for the next year. So if you've ever tried coordinating a trip for a big group of multiple families, let me give you one piece of advice. Make sure a third of the group moves somewhere that no one wants to visit. It makes the incessant bickering during the planning stage a true joy to be a part of. So last year, a couple of them, who happen to be brothers, started a podcast just for us called The Ordinary Fantasy Pod. Yes, still with those 2 mangy little E's in it. It's just for the 14 of us in the league of truly best friends, which you probably wouldn't believe if you saw last week's episode or read any of our text threads. I mean, they're brutal. If you don't have thick skin, you might cry yourself to sleep at night. Or maybe when you're putting your 2-year-old down for a nap. Having a podcast made for the league really has changed the game of this fantasy football experience, and more for some of us than others. They have us submitting these crazy videos so we all get to channel our inner Tom Green and make fools of ourselves making content for the pod. It used to be everyone would submit random stuff. Then after too many videos of a horse's ass behind one of us, Ryan, or too many bad accents, yeah, that was me, they started giving us a topic, so we all had some direction on what we were going to submit. But we couldn't get everyone to submit a video every week. I mean, it's 2023. Where are all my narcissists at? So now it's a weekly segment called Bobby's Can of Worms, like my starving thirst for attention needs encouragement. So now I'm basically their dancing monkey. Imitate how we respond to trades. Write us an original song. Now do that song acoustic style. This week you're doing stand-up comedy. Pretty soon they're going to have me parachuting naked out of an airplane or gorging myself for 8 hours with a waffle challenge at the local Waffle House. Who am I kidding though? I love it. I've always wanted an excuse to go to the Waffle House. So this is my submission for this week. You guys were all my guinea pigs, so thank you so much. We've got a great show. We've got Lightweight on later. Underrated is performing. Stick around.
And we're back. Hey, man, I told you guys, he went all out. He really
Yeah,
did
dude.
this time.
Thank you, Bobby, dude. That was a lot of effort, man. We appreciate you doing that. That was awesome.
Yeah, and that was it was funnier than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Bobby's, let's be honest, he's not a stand-up comic. But he peppered in
wasn't
the
before.
yeah, he peppered in the laugh track in there. I think at the
Yeah.
perfect moments. It actually made me chuckle a little bit. It makes you realize how important the laugh track is to some of these sitcoms, right? Like,
Yeah.
they become a lot funnier when they tell you when to laugh, and so good on Bobby. That was really well done and very creative.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and his
Thank you.
delivery I thought was better than I expected. I wasn't sure what kind of comedian Bobby was going to be. We kind of talked about it before. Was he going to be the waka waka, that kind of comedian? And I thought he was going to be a little over the top with his delivery, but he wasn't. He kept it cool, kept it very, very mellow, and I thought his delivery was great.
You guys have any ideas for his next assignment?
Well, yeah, I mean, I want to throw out the one we talked about last week because I thought it was freaking hilarious.
Naked skydiving?
No,
No?
no, definitely not what we're talking about. Is that a conversation between you two?
No,
What's going on
Bobby threw that out in the video. He's like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
it was one of his suggestions.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking, Bob. Here's what we discussed last week. We would like you to grab some of your children's, I'm sure, organic, free range, never store bought Play Doh, if you have some like that. We want to see some claymation, some stop action claymation. Nate threw out the idea of the fucking infamous arm wrestling in Texas. That's a great idea.
That was Ben's idea. That was my
Okay,
idea.
whatever.
Actually,
It
I
was
want to
still
see the
like-
whole night. I want to see Bobby's entire experience that night, not just the arm wrestling. Do a claymation reproduction of the drunkest night of your life.
That all sounds fun. Here's what I'm going to say, Bob. If you can't get the claymation done, that's a lot. I think that's a lot of work. Make this your first freestyle. Go and do what you want. Claymation, great idea. Do that. But if not, freestyle.
Well, no, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be claymation necessarily. I mean, it could be just some sort of stop action animation, but it could be very rough. It could be like big swings. It doesn't have to be like very detailed and intricate.
Oh
but
yeah.
I think
Let's
Bobby's
see,
going to do a
let's
good
see
job
what
with
he
this.
can do. He
Yeah.
hasn't let us down yet.
No, and the characters, he's already got some characters that he's got in his repertoire, Nathan, Frog, and some of those other characters he's used, some of those G.I.
Yeah.
Joe guys he's used. So yeah, I think he's gonna do a great job. Thanks a lot, Bob. We appreciate it, and hope you guys all enjoyed Bobby's Can of Worms. Yeah. All right. Well, let's move it on to our last segment of the podcast, guys. This is our Thunder Rolls segment. Thunder. Yeah. All right. Well,
You need
last-
the music, man. They got us. That's
I
what you
know
need.
that's true. They don't need the back. We don't need it, but it's nice to have it.
Yep.
All right. Last week's results, guys. We had Nathan coming in last at 38. I came in second at 89, and Matt brought it home this week with the big 95.
Yes.
Congratulations, brother. That's I'm going to lose track if somebody doesn't keep track of these and write them
I have
down.
it here. It's
Well,
you
you-
guys each have 2, and I only
Okay.
have 1, which was the first week. This week I made the mistake of going with that Josh Allen to dig stack, which
Mhm.
was fucking miserable. So that's what really killed me this week. And Matt brings up a good point. I think you mentioned it before we started recording, that stacks in a field this small can actually be to your detriment, because
Yeah.
if those 2 players don't perform, you're pretty much toast. So I might stay away from the stack moving forward.
Yeah, especially, it was really interesting to see Josh Allen underperform the way he did in that game. So,
Well, same thing happened to me 2 weeks ago. I did the Patrick Mahomes Kelsey stack and had lowest points of the season, I think. I mean, it was terrible.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
What do you guys think's up with Josh Allen? Is he regressing a little bit, or maybe was he too overhyped for a while there? What are your thoughts?
Both. I think both of those are true.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, he's still the number one fantasy quarterback this season, right? He's the number one. He is. Look it up. He's the number one scoring fantasy quarterback this season. So I know he seems like he's regressing a little bit, but he's not in that sense. You know what I mean? He had a bad game He threw 2 picks. It's a little strange. I think it. I wasn't praying for injuries, but I was praying for him to have a bad game playing against Dre this week. So I don't know if I had something to do with it.
Yeah, he totally did.
Personally,
You're right. He's the number 1 in fantasy points, and I think he was. He's been top 3 for the last several years.
yeah.
I think Josh Allen, what a lot of us fantasy football players and regular NFL fans wanted him to be, is we wanted him to be on that upper echelon. We wanted him to be in the John Elway conversation, or the Patrick Mahomes conversation, or the Marino conversation. But I think, and I've said this before. Last year I said it on the podcast. I think he's kind of settling into that Phillip Rivers role.
Yeah.
He puts up big stats. He's got tons of fantasy points, but his team can't win because he's just too wild. He throws too many interceptions. And I don't know that the Bills are ever going to win any game of significance as long as he keeps playing that way.
Now here's the other thing. They don't have a number 2 receiver. I don't care who says Gabe Davis's guy, that Shakir guy, Shorty or whatever his name is, Deontay Shorty or whatever it is. Dude, they do not have a second guy. And when Knox went down, it's Kincaid. But you cannot win in this league with just one running back or just one tight end, one receiver. So,
Oh, really? Patrick Mahomes would beg to differ.
Yeah. I was gonna say
he's not Patrick Mahomes, though.
Yeah, he's not, but you can win.
Right.
Yeah.
Not at the caliber he is with not enough weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
he's- he's basically Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers always had just one wide receiver and a tight end, right?
Well,
Put
he's
up
like the
tons of
lesser
points.
of the Manning brothers. He's like Peyton.
well, Phillip Rivers always had a really good running game too for many years.
Was that did you mean
I
to
was
say
just teasing,
Eli?
dude. I was
Okay.
just
I thought that was a hot take, or
That joke went over my head. I was talking during it. So,
Oh,
I
okay.
was talking about the most winningest Manning in Super Bowl history.
oh,
Yeah.
Eli, yeah.
Yeah.
well, they both have 2 Super Bowls. Yes.
No, that's right. That's right. All right.
That's funny. All right, let's
Great segment, gentlemen.
let's move. I'm gonna have to loop this song like 6 times.
No, start it now.
All right, let's make our picks for this week. We're gonna go QB first, and Matt, you're up this week to pick your QB first. So who you taking?
I'm dropping way down the list. And I'm going to do the Monday night game. I'm going to take Jalen Hurts.
All right, that sounds like an interesting pick.
Yeah.
They're playing. Who are they playing?
Kansas City next Monday
Ooh.
at Kansas City. He's the second highest scoring quarterback on the season. Let's see what he does.
Should be a
All right.
shootout.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go with somebody who we haven't picked yet this week or in this thing yet, and I'm
Don't do
going
it.
for him. I'm going for him, dude. I'm taking him at QB this week. I'm going C.J. Stroud against Arizona.
That was my pick.
I knew it would be. So
Damn
we've ignored this boy long enough. He deserves to be picked.
Yeah.
So C.J. Stroud's my pick at quarterback.
Yeah, and he's got that great matchup this week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard to ignore.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll do the same thing. I'll pick somebody that has not been picked in this space. I'm going to go with Jared Goff. He's playing against Chicago at
smart
home.
one.
And you know what? Last week I said that the Lions were a little too big for their britches and that they, need to be knocked down a peg. But damn, did they look good last week? This team might be legit. So Jared Goff.
He can't be denied right now, man. Jared Goff is a machine right now, dude.
What a stack. I wish I had that stack. God damn.
Yeah, and those weapons that he has are legit. Laporta and Amon-Ra. I think Amon-Ra's got 4 games in a row with 100 yards, which is the last time a player did that was Calvin Johnson, 4 games in a row with 100 yards. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
looking
nice
great.
how you can play a little gamesmanship with this thing right now. Like Nathan's already. We can already see what Nathan's
Yeah.
stack's going to be.
Yeah,
You
we
know
know.
what I mean? It's fun. It's
I
kind
thought
of
we
fun.
decided stacks weren't valuable in this.
That's exactly how you set it up. Yep, that's correct. Yep.
All right.
right.
We're going running back here, and I get to go first. I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to go. You know what? I'm just going to take him. I'm going to go Christian McCaffrey this week. Why not?
Damn it, that
I
was
thought
my
you were
pick
going to
too.
not do it for a second. Oh, my God.
I haven't taken him yet. I haven't.
Yeah.
He hasn't been on my.
Nobody
stack.
should ever pick anybody else first.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, Christian McCaffrey's got a tough matchup this week. He's playing
I know.
against the number 2
Yeah.
ranked rushing defense, right?
I know.
So it's a tough matchup. But God, he he's going to get back into the end zone and start that new streak this week. So I was really hoping to get him there.
Yeah,
Who's up next? Is that me?
that's you,
Yep.
Nate.
Well, I mean, you take my guy, I take yours. I'm going Austin Eckler.
Yeah, can't shoot. He's been looking so good, dude. Ugh.
Yeah, he's undeniable around the end zone. I mean, that guy's just a touchdown machine. So.
He scored like 3 touchdowns in one series last 2 games ago. Remember? Did you guys see that? He ran in like 3 times. Only one counted, but
Yeah.
So
anyways.
I was originally thinking I was going to go with a Lions running back in a revenge game. But I looked at his numbers outside of that one fluke touchdown, and yards per carry weren't quite back to where they were. So I'm going to take his running mate and take Jamar Gibbs.
All right.
Gibbs.
Yeah, and I think Gibbs is the RB1 in that backfield now. I
Yeah.
think the roles have completely reversed.
Yeah, that was one freak play that he got 75-yard touchdown last week. But,
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
All right, Matt,
Well-
you get to, or Nate, you get to go first at wide receiver.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, we're gonna test this stacks theory once and for all. If it's if it's ever gonna happen for me, I need it to happen with my sun god Amon Ra. So Goff to Amon Ra. Here we go.
There you go. Matt, who are you going with?
Oh, man, I really think I should probably just take the stack and go with Tyreek Hill.
It's not a stack.
Nope, not going to do the stack. I
That's
probably
unstackable.
should, though, but I'm not.
You unstacked it.
You unstacked it.
Unstackable.
All right, well, I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna stick with him. I'm gonna go CD Lamb. I'm gonna until this guy stops having huge games. I'm gonna ride him. So I'm gonna go
But
CD
Dak
Lamb.
can't play outside in Carolina. Now it's going to be a whole different game this week.
We'll see.
I'm teasing.
will
I'm
see.
teasing.
All right, let's talk about who we got.
Yeah, so
Matt,
I've got
or-
Goff and Amon Ra, and then my running back, I'm coming back with Austin Eckler.
I got
Matt?
Jalen Hurts. I got Tyreek Hill, and I got Gibbs, running back.
All right, and I went with Stroud. I went with blanking on my running back all of a sudden.
CMC.
CMC, the
CMC.
best running back in the game.
Dude, what's wrong with me?
On your team that you root for.
CMC and Lamb. That's who I took at wide receiver.
We need to reach out to Joe Rogan and see if we can get some Alpha Brain sponsorship around here, dude.
Seriously, bro, I need some of that stuff, man. That whatever that stuff's called.
Alpha Brain.
You know, it's not called Alpha Brain. It's called something else. He talks about it all the time. I forget what it's called. But A1 something or other. Yeah, that would be great. All right, guys. Well, those are our picks for this week, and we'll see how we do. We gotta, keep running it up on Nathan, Matt. We gotta keep running it up. At some
Yep.
point he's gonna catch on. And
I don't think so. No, he's done. He's over. The competition's not against him. It's against you.
That's right. That's
2,
right,
2, and
baby.
1. He's out of it.
Wait, we talking about the main league now, or
Whatever you want to talk about.
Oh well, guys, that was it, man. That was a fun episode. Week 11 is here, and before we get out of here, let's talk about what we got going on this weekend. Matt, you go first. What do you got going on?
Nothing.
All right, Nathan, what do you got going on?
you can do a little
I'm
more
done.
apple picking?
No apple picking this week. I'm gonna have a bonfire pretty much all weekend. Again, I got a lot of crap in my backyard to burn. So yeah, just bonfire, maybe a little bit of whiskey, and have a good time.
All right, cool. Well, Ben, you
Nice.
said last week you said you were going to come over on Sunday, and I didn't see you here.
I couldn't. I had sick kids, dude.
Oh,
I wasn't bringing them to your house. So
Well, listen, this weekend, as we know, those of us that are in the Friendsgiving thread know that the Metcalfs are in town this weekend. Now, Ryan is not committed to coming over on Sunday.
Yes.
He is not committed to this yet. He says he's 50-50, but I feel like I can coerce him into showing up. I feel like I can get him here for at least the morning games on Sunday. So I'm going to invite everybody else that lives in California, Ben, Jeff, Steve, Sean. If you guys want to see Ryan, I'm going to do my best to get him at my house. Let's have a little boys' time and watch some football on Sunday morning.
are we shuffleboarding Saturday night?
Possibly, yeah. I have to confirm that still, but yeah, that,
All right.
that
Can-
sounds
can we-
Wait,
like
who's
the
the
plan.
shuffleboard court?
It's not a court. This is the bar game, the shuffleboard.
Okay. I thought you made a backyard edition. I'm like, rad, that's cool.
No, there's a cool little bar down here in Fullerton that has on Saturday nights they have a band that plays like all the hits from the 80s and 90s. They're
Yeah.
pretty good. A couple of
Which
old
bar?
dudes. It's called what's it called again?
Commonwealth? No.
I forget what it's called.
Heroes, Roscoe's.
Roscoe's, yeah, Roscoe's. So they usually have a band there that plays cover songs, and then they got a shuffleboard, and it's a lot of fun. So we're talking about maybe doing that with Ryan here as well. We'll see what his plans are.
I got that cleared. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I got that cleared through the wife to go do that. So get that booked.
Nice, nice. We'll talk about that for sure. Let me give you guys my underdog money line smash of the week. I know earlier on the pod I said I think the Bengals are going to beat the Ravens, but I'm not going to make them my underdog. There is one team that I'm guaranteeing is going to win. I think the Rams, coming off of a bye, they need a win. They are playing against the Seahawks. This will be a Rams get-right game. Matthew Stafford is healthy. He's going to be peppering Cooper Kupp. And at home, the Rams are going to beat the Seahawks. That's my underdog money line smash of the week.
I like it.
There you go. I'm working USC football and Rams pregame show this weekend, so that's where I'm at. And good luck, everybody, in their NFL fantasy teams and all that stuff that you root for. Good luck out there. And guess what? That's a wrap on this week's Ordinary Fantasy Pod. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.